Alright, howdy everyone. So on this channel, I mostly analyze media. Sometimes I cover new media, sometimes I talk about the way media has changed over time. I very rarely talk about specific events or any such thing, because I want the focus to be on the ideas and not the events themselves. I don't want to get lost in any kind of sensationalism. But just today, as of recording this video, I received an email titled, "News! LOL Pro SOFM clinches MVP at Naraka Blade Point Asia Challenge," which was baffling to read. And then actually reading the email, I have crossed the person's name out, we'll call them Cheryl. Cheryl sent me this email saying, "Hi Addy, I'm reaching out with exciting eSports news. Former LOL Pro League player SOFM earned Game 3 MVP at the Naraka Blade Point Asia Challenge, beating numerous Naraka professionals in his first official Naraka eSport participation." I don't know what any of these words mean. I assume LOL is related to League of Legends. They sent me a YouTube video, by the way, which is what you're seeing playing over this video right now. They sent me a YouTube link, and that's what's playing in this video. Cheryl says she looks forward to hearing my insight on this remarkable event. Unfortunately, Cheryl, I don't have much insight on this remarkable event, but I am flattered as a journalist that you would send me this piece and request my thoughts on it, so I'll do my best with what I've got. So running with the idea that this is in some way League of Legends related, the only League of Legends media I've ever consumed is Arcane, the Netflix series, which was critically acclaimed, and I watched it at the behest of my friend Nox, who quite likes League of Legends, and I do have quite a few things to say about it. The first most immediately noticeable thing about Arcane to me is the way there's such a deliberate weight in all the movement and feedback, and it's helped immensely by the sound design, which uses deep, guttural thuds, groans, and creaks instead of boisterous, cartoonish alternatives. Every fight scene feels impactful. The first episode features one of my absolute favorite representations of magic in action, well befitting the name of the series. This elderly stoic man casting his stave to the sky, calling indecipherable runes to warp reality, leaving our worldly perceptions to shudder under the spell's lustrous blue might. It's shockingly visceral. I got goosebumps. I was instantly convinced of magic's power in this realm, why it's something to be both respected and feared. It likewise makes sense why Jace is obsessed with magic. More than having seen it save his mother, he saw the same display of unspeakable might that we did. I imagine no adversity could possibly shake him from that, besides maybe magic going wrong in his own hands. And then we've got Heimerdinger's relationship with Jace. Hearing a 307-year-old scientist tell someone that some mysteries are better left unsolved, that hits hard. This guy's the word on science. If Heimerdinger doesn't believe in questioning everything, then what hope does actual science have to survive? I was also infatuated with Silco's equally romantic and disgustingly primal description of his drowning. I've never believed more that drowning is the worst imaginable thing. The show absolutely excellently understands how sudden and terrifying violence is. Lives end so abruptly and brutally. And all of the characters have some sort of deep theme which connects them to the greater narrative in some way, or at least connects them to the greater tapestry of characters around them. Victor is excellent at saying exactly the right things to sway a desperate man on the edge in every circumstance. Jace could never possibly say no to him. Marcus's foreshadowing is excellently handled. He believes what the council says, he believes he's in the right to a disturbing degree. It's the kind of mindset that leads people to make the decisions he did in the way he did at the time he did. There are so many genuinely good, compelling, artful things about Arcane, and I'm sure you've heard a lot of them before. I do also have some criticisms. I have one particularly big issue with Arcane. So, there are some video game adaptations where you plain can't tell that you're watching an advertisement, but Arcane isn't one of them. It does do a spectacular job setting up a believable universe with real stakes, wherein we see children brutally die on screen, but after episode 3, almost every named character has obscene plot armor. They walk around with undeserved confidence and are portrayed as though they're untouchable. This confused me because I totally bought into the atmosphere set during the first 3 episodes. It didn't hit until episode 7 what was actually going on. You see, Jinx and Echo, they have an exceptionally animated, thematically profound showdown on the bridge connecting Piltover and the Undercity. It ends in a draw, but rather than accept defeat, Jinx drops a bomb. It detonates right next to the both of them, killing them both. Or at least, that's what I'd like to say. It would have been really cool and really appropriate if they died here. But they don't. Not only did they live, but Echo seems mostly unharmed. Only his leg was damaged. Is there an in-universe explanation for this? No. Those bombs have killed plenty of people before at longer range. You want to know why they both live and don't even have so much as singed flesh? Because they're playable characters in the video game. That's why Victor's illness never takes its natural course. That's why Jace is capable of easily mowing down super soldiers with his new warhammer. That's why every chance to kill important people ends fruitlessly. Because audiences don't want to see their favorite champions die. And you know what? Screw that. When this revelation hit, it recontextualized everything so heavily that it significantly tarnished my enjoyment. The consequences the viewer was promised are a lie. So much of the cast is just plain invincible that every ostensibly dangerous or tense situation just falls flat. It's tragic, but not in the intended fashion. I was further reminded that this is also a product, and not just art, by the ending. There were so many chances to have a proper ending to Season 1, so many outs, so many ways to tie things up. The characters were arriving at natural conclusions and developments after all. But no, it's obvious that this train is going to run until it's all out of juice. Something this high quality can't maintain its luster forever. So, in general, my thoughts on Arcane are pretty mixed. There are so many things to appreciate about it artistically and thematically, but at the end of the day, it still does feel like an advertisement to me. And I hope that had something to do with what you wanted me to talk about, Cheryl. So, to be perfectly clear, that video you just watched was self-parody. It existed to poke fun at myself, my general lack of perceived trendiness, and the kind of absurd notion that anyone would ask my opinions on eSports. And as a bonus, it was a chance to criticize mass marketing and promotional emails, as well as give my genuine thoughts on Arcane. This video was not, however, an excuse to defame or mock esports or the individuals who play esports. I may not engage with that hobby personally, but I have much respect for folks who harbor such dedication and passion for their craft. And you know, I feel kinda bad that this disclaimer is something I have to do. A lot of people even ask me why I do these disclaimers on occasion, and if you have to ask, then bless you, you're quite sensible and I genuinely value you greatly. But there are plenty of individuals who consume content not as it's presented, but instead solely with their biases in mind, and as a result, they can be quite hateful, either to the content, the creators, or the subject of the content. And when dealing with real persons like this, it helps to be cautious.